We sell your items online. Go ahead, declutter your life. Have a yard sale or let eBay do the work. From the thrift store shopping to that wallet popping. There are two things in life that are certain. Deathpiles in Texas. Deathpiles in Texas. With Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley.
Time for Deathpiles in Texas. Good morning, my friend. It's been a while.
Good morning. We always say that. It's not been that long this time, but
Oh yeah, we like to put them in the queue, do a couple at a time.
yeah. I had a long-time listener ask me, "You still doing that show?" Yeah. Okay, I just haven't been listening.
Oh
So it wasn't. I thought, well, maybe we haven't been putting them out. So
no, we've been putting them out
we've
there.
been putting them out pretty regular, and yeah, I thought this morning. I thought we were to springtime. I think we do this every year.
Oh
Like,
yes.
woke up, had a scheduled assignment to come over here and meet Adam for this podcast, and there's more snow on my car and the roads than I probably had all year in commuting.
Yes.
A day off. So
Yes.
I'm dedicated to the cause.
You are dedicated, my friend. Well, it's early March, but these are evergreens because we never know when they're going to go up. But it's always tax season. And doesn't it feel like that? Like
Might be late June by the time they air. Who knows? But yeah, it does always feel well, and as the principles are always the same. Like there's one time of the year where you got to reckon and get it all together.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're doing that throughout the year, then you're
Which, speaking of, not to put you on the spot here, D-Roy, but how's your bookkeeping coming, my friend?
Well, let me tell you, I've been sick for about a month.
Excuse.
After about the week before the Super Bowl, I got this bad cough and things, and then my side started hurting,
Excuse.
and it still is hurting. And so I haven't went to the doctor yet because I'm tough. And so I thought, well, once that clears up, which we're about there, I had some other things come up where I got to get some cards over to a guy in New York, but I haven't touched it.
That doesn't surprise me. Don't be Derek. Don't wait till the last minute. Do a little foresight, little forward planning, because the problem is what Derek never realizes. He sells way more than he thinks he does. And his thing is he's built up such an inventory of goods that he really needs to do that year-end inventory to kind of figure out where they lie. Because the man's got a lot of stuff. Stuff that you've never seen before.
Well, here's the other problem. Right before I was getting sick, I went in and I thought, I'm going to rearrange some things because I was looking, I sold a lip gloss.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It was a peach tea lip gloss that I didn't remember buying.
Okay.
So it sells, and so I go look at a few spots where I probably will put it, and it's not there. And I mean, it was like, $20-$30 worth of a couple lip glosses.
Okay.
I don't want to lose that kind of money. And I don't want to have some lip gloss that I must have bought years ago sitting somewhere. So I start tearing through things and reorganizing, right? Well, I do find it. I did have the lip gloss, and I got off of there. So I was about halfway done in my reorganization, and that's about when I came down with whatever I came down with. So that room's still about halfway.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's a mess. So talk about inventory and stuff. It's easy to get out of sorts, or else you have your stuff. Most of it, probably 90%, I know right where it is, can go to it. But there's that 10% or that stuff you bought earlier on when you're like, oh yeah, lip gloss. This is going to sell for, $30 each. And that's 5 years ago. I don't know. I don't even know. So, it's good to go back and kind of see what you got. Double check it as you're going through it. Make sure it's on eBay for sale still, because sometimes, for whatever reason, things drop off and then it's just sitting there. So,
well,
a lot of work.
All I know is every tax season, the name of our show becomes more and more and more relevant because I continue to have clients pass away. And a lot of times they're kids I'm doing taxes for. And by kids, these are, people in their 50s and 60s. And they all talk about the amount of stuff that mom and dad had. And it's interesting because we talk about, hopefully people are passing in their late 70s, 80s. They're of that generation.
I'm more for an 80s and 90s guy. But if Adam wants to cut you short a decade or two, that's his prerogative.
I think the average age life expectancy now is like 76. So
it's not going up, which is weird.
Yeah,
you'd think we'd be to like 80s and 90s.
There's that super medicine stuff that's coming out for some people.
Oh, man. You always hear that stuff. It's like, if I can just hold on another decade, I could probably live to be 300. And then you don't.
And I'm just hoping I got the natural fountain of youth when I was in the Northwest Arkansas. Rubbed those magic rocks, got
I thought you were rubbing magic rocks.
Hopefully that spring water is going to keep me young for a while.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, that is what they call it. The bathhouses.
I know I probably don't have genetics on my side, so I need some splicing, dicing, and all the help I can get, all the magic juices, and secret serums, and whatever else you got. I'll take down.
So as we're aging and 70s, 80s, 90s, I had one client in here yesterday drove over 95, a good old guy, worked in Geneva. Anyways, talking about the Deathpiles, like you said. That generation, they were still of the the Great Depression, and they reused tinfoil.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma'd send you a gift, but you had to be real careful opening it
because she needed that paperback.
She needed that paperback, and now unfortunately, she's kept all that paper plus all the other stuff. Plus, she got her parents' stuff, so we're literally talking mounds and households full of stuff. That not all of it. I mean, obviously there's gems in all of it.
Yeah.
But the bulk majority of it just needs to be taken out. Yeah,
that's the thing. You got to go through it. There's some things sentimentally might not be worth anything, but to the certain kid, that's what they remember. And they remember Dad with that skillet on Saturday mornings making some eggs and bacon for him.
Boy.
Or those kinds of things. But majority, is just, if there's not memories tied to it, it's kind of tough. You can go through. Some things are worth things. Sometimes the things that you don't think are worth anything are worth the most. Sometimes the great china that they've saved since the wedding isn't really. I mean, when's the last time you went to somebody's house, Adam, and they brought out the fine china for you at a dinner party?
My in-laws still have it in the china cabinet.
Well, everybody's in-laws still have it. That's what we're talking about.
We still see it every time. But
have you ever ate on it?
No, my parents, they got china for their wedding.
Yeah, it used to be the big thing.
Never. Like, we'd moved several times, and it was still in this box that said fine china, don't break. And, I don't think I ever saw it out of the box.
I mean, have you ever ate off fine china in your 40-plus years of life?
I did attend a gala about 2 weeks ago, so there was more forks there than I'd seen in a long time.
That was like a catered big event.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You ever went to somebody's house?
No.
Or like a barbecue, or like,
no.
Hey, Robbie's turned 50, and they brought out the fine china and the cookware. And
no, we usually just get the hot dog wrappers when we go to your place.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's a different generation thing, so.
And that's why a lot of people are, younger, a little younger than us. They are in that minimalist age. They grew up and they saw all this stuff that grandma and grandpa had, and like, what do I need this for? It's all trash anyways. And the van life, I know that that's something you've dabbled in.
I'd like to. I can't hold on. I really would.
Talked about the van life. The complete minimalist where they have literally nothing, or if they do, they can carry it in a van. So yeah, there's different, very large spectrums of things. And what I was getting at, my point being, you probably need to get your death pile in a more organized fashion, so that stick those high dollar items somewhere. So, if there is ever something to happen, I can help your sweet wife out, getting those things out the door.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, a lot of people do the FIFO, first in, first out. You get your stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'll surprise you on occasion, Adam.
No, that college education you got when you were the public speaker that day.
I thought, I got some more college stories that you haven't even heard that I remembered over the weekend. But,
oh, boy.
The thing of it is, most people go source, and then they try to, list what they just went and got. And you're like, oh, I'll get to that later, and it starts piling up, and you're like, whatever. I think a good way of doing it is like what Adam's saying. If it's the most, go through what you got, and then put the most expensive stuff first, because when that sells, it's going to motivate you to list the other stuff, right? When I sell a card for, $200-300, it's gonna make me think, man, I need to get the rest of this stuff. And some of it's, $1 to $10 cards. But I'm like, if I can get up enough of that you can get some bulk stuff going. But if you have that $100 to $200 item sitting there, or 400, 500, 600, some thousands of dollars, get that up first, because that's not only going to motivate you, but that's going to help fund your whole thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, be careful what you're getting. It's really easy to buy a lot more, because that's the fun part. That's the part you're out there, you're looking, you're like, oh man, look at this, is awesome. I remember, Furby? Holy crap, I can't believe they still have this thing, and then you don't look, because you're like, Furby's got to be worth something for Christmas. I remember my Meemaw going and have fisticuffs with a lady to get me a black Furby or whatever, and then you go and look and you're like, $5.
Yes.
And so to look it up, do your due diligence, and leave this. Don't be afraid to leave some stuff on the floor or at the thrift sale, and just find, like I was saying, there's a lot more opportunity. We got an older generation, baby boomers. Unfortunately, that's just the cycle of life. But there's a lot more people that had a lot more things, a lot more stuff, and sometimes the demand's there. Like, we're making fun of China.
Whoa, not the country.
I'll make fun of them too, but
whoa,
we don't got no listeners there. It's okay.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, I forgot we're on the iron wall.
Yeah, the bamboo curtain doesn't let Deathpiles and Taxes through.
Bamboo curtain.
But they might. I don't know if you're listening to China, go sell some stuff. But they
you're talking about the fine china.
The fine china. There are people. See, here's the thing. There's like, it used to just be. Maybe there was more of a variety, but it seemed like you were either kind of a sporty guy, or you're kind of more of a into the motorcycle and that kind of thing, or you're kind of into. There's different niches, and that's kind of what you were into. Nowadays, the kids nowadays, Adam, there's kind of more variety. Like, you can be a band nerd and you can still like sports, or you can do this kind of thing. There's people that like to dress it up like they're in the 50s and pretend like it's the 1950s, and that's kind of their style.
I think they call it LARPing.
But they'll have parties and stuff where everybody gets together and you dress like a decade, right? So some of this old clothing and stuff that we're saying is worth nothing, here in 5-6 years might be the cool thing. This might take off. You never know what's going to take off. And the fine china might make a comeback. So there's probably brands, and there's probably certain things that are valuable, even though it's a bulk variety. The fine china is probably not worth a whole lot. If you were to itemize and look at certain pieces and stuff, you might find the piece that is. So everything we're saying, do your own research. I guess that's what I'm saying, Adam. Get your ivermectin in and do your own research.
There's several sets that are going for $1,000, $1,200, and I mean, there's definitely some fine china. There's a lot more listed than there is sold, which is kind of the whole idea of it. But yeah, there's some fine china there.
You didn't do anything off my ivermectin comment.
Oh, I wasn't taking that. It's bait.
Well, this is where this is where the bait gets caught.
Okay.
I mean, we just went to China and the bamboo.
All right. Do we want to take? I'll take the bait.
No, that's past. The moment's gone.
Oh, hindsight's always 20/20. Just like we talked about all our Michael Jordan stuff before the
final dance.
The final dance came out. You were flinging chlorine tablets before the COVID stuff.
The big fire of 2021.
Yeah.
The chlorine factory. I don't know who started it.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the ball canning goods gate that happened.
That was a good one.
For those of you, I mean, most of these people are continual listeners. We've had some great shows. I mean, we've been doing this for several years now.
I think we're one of the longest.
We are one of the longest. I mean, that's the first time in your life, but normal thing for me. We talked a lot about items or things that you could be doing. COVID happened, and there was lots of.
Had the magical waters down at the Arkansas Springs.
Yep, we talked about canning goods, and Derek was buying up canning goods. And there was a Twitter war, wasn't there?
There's always some kind of war.
Well, with the gal that was making jellies.
That was Facebook, yeah.
A Facebook war. This gal was upset at Derek for
People hate me on Facebook.
Derek's been banned in several places.
I've been banned more than some people have been accepted places.
Derek got in the Facebook war about buying and selling canned goods, canning items with a gal who is, I didn't forget about it. I got all these things up here in the old vault. Derek, we had some good times.
I get through it. Why do people hate me, Adam?
Well, because
a
you're
good guy.
you're Mr. Scumbag.
But here was the thing, and it was a product of the time. There was a shortage, right?
Yeah.
And I found out there was going to be a shortage. So what do? You go and you buy. And I wasn't asking astronomical prices. A lot of the times on things like that, you do. You ask astronomical prices. Now I was probably asking, 3-4 times. Well, probably 2-3 times. What do canning lids even cost?
No, I don't know.
I mean,
$4.
$4. I was probably asking 20.
Yeah.
Which at the time you couldn't get them anywhere.
No.
Your garden, you can't. I mean, it's going to expire. Like the thing with gardening, like tomatoes, they're going to be too ripe to do anything with. So you got to can them at a certain point. There's a window there, and I said, "Hey, I got this. You need it. Here's the deal."
Supply and demand.
This lady, she had a business or
She
something.
was making jams and jellies.
And I couldn't find it, and I just put it up on Facebook Marketplace, if I remember right, locally.
It was a local thing.
But they were going good on eBay and stuff too. But I thought, man, that's local. I don't have to pay. They can just, the fees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she was not happy with me, and probably still isn't.
Yep.
I'm doubting she's still in business, but
It's the same thing. Supply and demand on everything. I mean, I've been to Costco for the last 3 months. I couldn't buy eggs. Went last night. Guess what? We found some.
it's well, I mean, that was a whole supply chain. Like we learned this during COVID, which has been half a decade ago. Hard to believe.
Whoa.
Hard to believe 2020, half a decade ago.
Yep.
Coming up on March. That was right when everything happened.
Yeah.
So.
My little guy's turning 5 here 2 days.
So for some of us, seems like just yesterday.
Yeah.
But there's a new crop of kids.
They don't even know what it is.
I mean, they were kids during it, so
Yeah.
it was a whole different experience for them. Anyways, we learned about supply chain issues, and I think some of it was not at the time manufactured, but since it's been. I mean, the price of salmon never went back down. Eggs, you got the avian flu, that kind of thing going on. Saying, well, just get backyard chickens. Great if you can do it, but
Yeah.
I just think I don't think egg prices are ever going to go back to where they were pre this.
No.
They'll go down from what were you paying the Costco?
No.
Costco's usually only 15% markup.
Yeah, it wasn't much at all. I mean,
So
you
$10 or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was
for a couple dozen.
It was 30 eggs, so it was a 2.5 dozen for $11.29.
All right. So yeah, maybe a dozen doesn't go back down to like $2.99 a dozen.
No,
It was $3-4 still.
Yeah, hopefully.
which is better than 6-7 anyway.
Yeah,
But that's the thing with this kind of stuff. But if you can see it coming now, who can see the bird flu coming, and you can't really stock up on eggs. You could have bought chickens. I've seen people are renting chickens.
but they cost more than what it is to do eggs.
Yeah, I mean, but then you get that they're fresh and they go and they eat the bugs, and I'm from a small town community.
Bobby would be happy with you.
My father sold chickens for many years as part of his business.
Yeah,
where he's worked, and he's kind of a chicken expert to be quite honest with you.
he does know about those chickens.
And all the different styles and breeds, and what color the eggs are going to be is by the color of their ears. Did you know that? Like they have these little colors there. You can tell what color the eggs are going to be by that.
How much does he know about roosters?
He doesn't like roosters. I know that much.
Oh man, there was another thing in Arkansas that I might need to have a couple conversations with him
There's a
about.
guy that might or may not be probably what you're thinking, and we just try to avoid it. You don't want to go to jail for having the roosters in the pens and then going.
Like there was like half. They would take like barrels, like water barrels, and I'm at like hundreds of them, and I didn't even realize. I mean, I'm in the backwoods of Arkansas. Between that and moonshine, like you just don't realize things.
You don't know what you're getting into.
You have no idea what you're getting
pretty
into.
naive.
Oh yes. So chickens, prices, economics. You're throwing out all kinds of advice.
There's certain breeds of the chicken, and then they'd come into the store, people asking for steroid, they'd ask for these things, but they my dad's a pretty smart guy, and then he's like, no, we're not into that. We're not selling. I'm not going to prison for supplying you with steroids for your chicken.
Yeah.
Cockfighting ring.
Yeah.
But you have to be kind of nice about it. No, we don't carry that. Good luck.
Yeah.
And then they tape the razors on. It's pretty brutal.
Oh, it's a brutal thing.
I like combat sports and that kind of thing, and I just when you put animals in, it's not for me.
Just not for D-Roy. So that being said, we gave you taxes, we gave you all kinds of in between and chicken information. You ain't getting this kind of stuff anywhere else, my friend.
You're not. And like I'm saying, get your tax stuff together, get your documentation together. I'm gonna go home and try to make it a goal this week to get all that figured out so I can come visit Adam and he can have that awkward conversation with me where he says, you owe the government X, or sometimes they owe you Y. I'm always hoping they owe me. But, you know, we try to break even.
That's what it is. So that being said, my friend, there are two things in life that are for certain, and that would be
Deathpiles and taxes.
We're well within our rights to use this song. We're aware that preaching copyright is wrong. With lots of dedication, we've researched the legislation, and this music has nowhere else it belongs. Derek is the king of Deathpiles, and Adam does his taxes all the while. Deathpiles and taxes, selling stuff online in between. Deathpiles and taxes, no copyright.